All right, so how was the listening? I hope it's okay. All right, so now it's time for the academic reading. And academic readings here, you have 1 hour, okay, 1 hour, 60 minutes. And be careful, there's no extra time to transfer your answers to the answer sheets. So unlike listening, if you're sure about an answer, you should immediately write it in your on your answer sheet. Okay. In the real test, the examiner is going to remind you once you finish 50 minutes that you still have 10 more minutes only to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. But as you take the exam, I think if you're sure about the answers, instead of writing in the question booklet, you should immediately write your answers on the answer sheet. Okay. And there's 1 hour, there are 60 minutes, and there are three reading texts. So one reading text you shouldn't use more than 20 minutes, because if you use more than 20 minutes in one section, you're bound to lose time for the other sections. All right. Okay. And the number of questions, like listening, is 40 questions. Inequally divided between among that three sections, but each section has at least 12 questions to maximum of 40 questions, 14 questions, so at least 12, no more than 14. All right, 12, 13, 14, 14 questions in each section. All right, and there can be like at least 2 to 4 different question types. Okay, so now let's start with our first sections, the birth of blue. Okay, so here, the birth of blue, the first thing you do is you read the question. Sorry, you read the headings. All right, don't read the text because it wastes time. You read the headings and you anticipate what you're about to read. So the heading says the birth of blue. So the birth obviously means the origination or the beginning of blue. All right, but we're not sure which blue it means. It could be blue music, it could be anything blue. So you've got to read the subheading. So the subheading says, as a primary color, blue has been most difficult for artists and scientists to create. So that's all about blue color. That's it. Don't waste your time reading the text. Forget about skimming and scanning, because whatever you read, you forget most of them. So it will waste your time. So don't read. And here there are 12 questions, question number 1 to 12, and you should span about 20 minutes. All right, and go immediately to the question. All right, so let's go to the questions. So on page number 174, you're going to see question number 1 to 4. This is summary completion. You have to fill in the blanks of the summary using no more than 3 words from the reading text. Okay, and this is question number 1 of 4. Question number 5 to 6, multiple choice. And question number 7 to 12 is our matchings. All right. Okay. So let me tell you something. Do not read section by section. Do not do section by sections, because it's a fatal, deadly mistakes. Most IELTS candidates without any training starts working on question number 1 or 4, and after that they move on to question number 5 to 6, and only then will they do question number 7 to 12 section by section, but actually it wastes time. You've got to do all 3 sections at the same time, and you get the answers from everywhere. Okay, you shouldn't get the answers in chronological order. If you're getting the answers in chronological order, you are actually wasting your time. But you've got to spend a few minutes, for example, like 3 to 4 minutes, analyzing the question, because it saves a lot of time. And don't forget, you're not reading. I always tell my student, don't read, find the answer. You're not reading, you're trying to find the answers. Okay, so now what you're going to read about, right? It's about the blue collar, how it got started, stuff like that, and the different types of blue collars. Okay, so now let's analyze the question. you should underline the question, circle the question so that you will remember what you are looking out for. For example, number 1 to 4. Okay, so let's read it. How many words can you write? No more than 3 words from the passage. Okay, so let's read. The color used in cave paintings and other early art. So you should underline the cave painting and other early art. So where do you think you'll find the answer? In the beginning, in the middle, or in the end? Obviously, it will be in the beginning because it's very, very early on where, okay, made by crashing. You know, crashing, right? You crash something, mean you break something into pieces, you smash something. Don't worry, you're never gonna find that crashing in the reading text. Instead, you're gonna find something synonymous. It could be like smashing, breaking into pieces, grinding, pounding, such kind of words. But okay, but the key word is by crashing something. What did they crash? What did they grind up? What did they smash? Okay, that's something number 1 is required for. However, later artists have generally had to rely on. So the key word is rely on. You try to find rely on, but you're never going to find rely on in the paragraph. Instead, you're going to have to find depend on, worship, can't manage without. So the artist has to worship something, okay, on the something, that thing, of the day of their supplies of blue. So what do they have to worship? What do they have to rely on? And don't forget, question number 1 and 2, they don't come chronological order. 2 could have come before 1 as well. So you've got to look out for all the answers. Okay, among the first examples of the widespread use, the key word is widespread use. It's not just a little. They use significantly. They use what do we call? They use it in a large amount. Okay, first example of blue was in blank number 3 art. So which art? The key word is widespread use. Okay, and over the centuries, many more attempts. So that's the keyword. That's the keyword. Attempts, strugglings. They try to find. They try. Okay, many more attempts to create acceptable blues have been made. Okay, some of which. What is which? What is which? Of course, some of these attempts have led to significant something. So the key word is significant. It's like obvious, noticeable. You try to find the attempts, okay, and these attempts have led to very, very obvious, very, very significant something. Okay, again, let me tell you, question number 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're not likely to come in chronological order, but they shouldn't be very far apart from each other. And also, if you're stuck with number 1, 2, 3, and 4, just leave it and come back later. Don't waste your time getting stuck with that 1 to 4, because if you've spent too much time about that 1 to 4, you're bound to lose the other sections. Time in the other section. Okay, so now let's move it on to another section. Don't get busy with that 1 to 4 yet. 5 and 6 at the same time, you're trying to find the answer. Okay, this is the multiple choice. Okay, whenever you have the multiple choice, please do not read the options first, because option number A, B, C, D, leave them. If you started reading them, they would confuse you. All right, read the question and underline the keywords. Okay, so number 5, what was the main disadvantage in using ultramarine for medieval artists? All right, so what is the first word you should underline? Ultramarine, of course. You try to underline ultramarine. You're gonna try, the first thing you're gonna try to find is ultramarine. It's a type of blue. Okay, but before you try ultramarine, you try to narrow down the topic. Okay, the main disadvantage, they're gonna tell you in the reading test, you're gonna find many problems with the ultramarine, and what is the main problems. Okay, and you try to find the main problems in the text. You lift the answer, and only when you found the answer should you read against number A, B, C, and D and pick out the answer. Don't read read A, B, C, D before you find the main disadvantage in using ultramarine in the text. Okay, got it? And number 6, the first word you underline is Persian blue. You try to find a paragraph that tells you about Persian blue. All right, you don't read anything, find Persian blue. All right, and then after that, when you found that paragraph, you try to find the discovery. How was it discovered? How was it found? How was it invented? And you pick out the answers, and only when you found the answers should you read against number A, B, C, and D. All right, okay, and then don't get busy yet. Let's move it on. All right, what do you have to do? Let me make it a little smaller. All right, so but you can still read that, right? So look at the following notes that have been made about the types of blue described. So basically, you have to match number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with those type of blue A to G. But okay, don't waste your time studying the examples because okay, so what's developed in the early years of 19th century? The answer is E. Why is that? Don't waste your time studying, but you try to read the instruction. In the instruction, do they say you can repeat the number A to G for more than once? Do they say it? Did you find it anywhere? No. All right, so the first thing you do is E. That E, you strike it out here. It has already been used, so you might not use it anymore. So it saves you trouble. Strike out number E. Okay, got it? And then you read number 7 to 12. Underline the keywords, okay? The keywords underlined should be as few as possible so that it will help you to remember. Okay, so number 7, derive from a scarce natural result. So the keyword is scarce results, very, very scarce results. Which one needs very scarce results? Okay, and number 8, specially designed to retain its depth of color when used in paint. So the keyword is paint, design, color. All right, so it's like, you know, usually those blue when they were used in paint, they lose color, but this one they don't lose color because it was designed to control, to maintain. Which one is that? All right, number 9 was cheap to produce but limited appeal. Okay, cheap is very cheap, but it's limited. Okay, appeal means attractions. Okay, limited attraction for artists. So it was cheap, but the artists weren't very happy with that. Which one is that? Okay, number 10, made using a technique, technique, right? It's a method which is not yet fully understood. So it's not understood yet. So what you're looking for is a mystery or is a secret because it is not understood yet. So which blue is still a mystery or a secret? You try to find these words, mystery or secret, okay? And number 11, thought to have been produced during another manufacturing process. So which means that they were doing something else, but something went wrong, and the result is that blue. Okay, they were doing something else, and something went wrong, so it's based on a mistakes. Okay, what you're looking out for is that blue was the result of a mistakes or an accident. A mistake, an accident. That's what you're gonna try to look for. Okay, and number 12 is came to be manufactured inexpensively, very cheaply in large quantity. It's not just a little bit. In large quantity, came to be manufactured. Again, let me tell you, number 7 to 12, you're not gonna get the answers in chronological order, and number 1 to 4 also, you're not going to get them in chronological order. At the same time, you're looking for these keywords. You're also looking for these blues very fast, okay? And when you found those blue, you try to link with that. I guess probably you could start looking out for the keywords first, or you could start looking out for those blues first also. But just in case you get ultramarine or Persian blue, for example, you should get these answers here and these answers here at the same time. Now, this is just the beginning because it's the first attempt to try to do the IELTS, so it might take a while, and I will slowly introducing you how to do it, but on your own, you've got to be very, very, very fast. For example, at the moment you started reading the heading, the birth of blue, until now, before you start actually looking out for the answer, the whole analysis, the analyzing process should be in 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, and in the actual reading time, you should get all the answers in 15 minutes, so that your the whole reading times will be less than 20 minutes, and it will leave you some time for checking, verifying, stuff like that. Okay, so are you ready? So now, all right, so let's try to find the answers. Don't read, find the answers, all right?